Hi, friends.
What's up, peeps? How you doing? You know my
Welcome.
slow ass trying to still get on. Wait. There, let's go. Refresh. My phone said it needs to be refreshed. So fresh and so clean. Let me turn this down.
This is our usual Monday morning. Excuse us while we figure out where y'all are.
Yes. Good morning, people. How y'all doing? We have a special guest, somebody I've been wanting to have on our show for a long time. She's very dear to me. She's my sister from another mama. I've been knowing her probably, she's one of my longest friends that I keep in contact with. She lives in Beaumont, Texas. She used to be from Portland, Oregon. You can find her on Instagram and Facebook. She is one of the most inspirational sisters that I know. And we've been talking about bodies and uh, how to be in this world and how to be joyful. She is the epitome of somebody who's like going to show you joy. And she's actually, and this is the other thing. She used to have my back when I was the youth minister. So I've known her since we were at Immaculate Heart St. Andrew's youth group. And when the kids in the van was like being a little bitches, so I'm gonna say that on. I hope you can say that live. Trina would get them some straighten up, and I was like, "This girl is cool," I was like, so I really appreciate. She's been a sister that's always had my back. And Trina, welcome to a Monday mornings with Lila and John. So tell them about you.
So you gave me a pretty good introduction. I am from Portland, Oregon, but I was born in Arkansas, in a small town of Arkansas. So you can only imagine my parents' mentality. They're kind of small-minded, and they gave birth to a big-minded child. So it was a rough childhood. So it took me a long time to come into my own. But I'm there. I still have a lot to learn, but it was a lot of work. And that's why I am so adamant about helping other people to come into their own space, find their own voice, and just be their true, authentic selves, be true to who they are.
So how'd you do that? I'm just curious. I mean, like some people they get small when they're in a family and they have parents that are small minded, like you said. What did you do to how did you get to be you and be okay with it?
I adapted. So while I was in their home, I followed their rules and did what they said because I knew that wasn't forever. I already knew that. So when I was outside of the house, it's like, you don't cuss around your parents. But when you outside the house, you cuss with your friends and have a good time. You know how to act. I acted accordingly. So once I got outside of the house, when I grew up and I went to college, I was able to expand and really start seeing, hey, this is possible. You're always talking about what is possible. And once you start seeing what's possible, you build on that and you find yourself and what makes you happy, what brings you joy.
Yeah, yeah, I like that whole possible thing. Once you start realizing, and that's where sometimes I get frustrated with people because they lose the sight of possibilities are everywhere.
Hmm.
And that other piece that always stands out about you is never giving up, never quitting, never giving in. You know, you are, you know, very interesting. Like even when I call you and some difficult things like what was going recent on in my life, you were like, "Hey, well, this is the other side of it. I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna keep you in my space. You know, that is what's needed right now on planet Earth.
Hmm.
And a lot of people lose sight of that. And I mean, I'm always like, wow, how every time you come on, the energy of the invitation of that energy of like, this is it. I mean, and it might be some stuff that's not going as well for you, but no one would ever fucking know it from when they see you, which how many people's lives have you probably saved that don't know you because once they get to see the energy for a second, the possibility shows up of I'm gonna choose life. I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
living. Yeah. So how do you do that? How do you teach your kids to be in this world?
Oh, well, I teach them to be themselves. And I also teach them what it took me a while to learn to just learn how to walk in different rooms, learn how to walk in different spaces. Not saying that you can't be true to who you are. There's a time and a place and a space.
Yeah.
And I also, I teach my daughter too, because she's uh, 11. So
Yeah.
she's getting to be kind of moody, getting on my nerves. But I just teach her that sometimes you have to step out of that. Sometimes you have to think things are far greater than you and what you're going through. What are you upset about right now? Really? So
Yeah.
there are things that are far greater than what you're tripping over. And it's
Yeah.
just that simple. And I try to talk to them and teach them about authenticity and being kind. And the biggest thing I teach them is karma,
We'll
and
talk
not
about
and not just about their karma. I believe even if the karma doesn't come to me, I've put so much karma in my bank that it goes to the energy of my children. That's what I believe, and that's what I teach them, and that's what I show them.
cool. Cool. So let's talk about some of your creations.
Okay.
I would, uh, first of all, where can people find you? Because I'm gonna keep on pumping this up. Where will people be able to find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Crystal Clear Poet. I also have a dirty page, which is Crystal Clear Poetry, and that's where I just wild out because I just felt like the space between anal sex and have a great day, you can keep going. They didn't fit together. So if I want to talk about anal sex, I pushed it somewhere else. So on my other page, I'm a total freak. I say what the fuck I want to say and wild out. But then on Crystal Clear Poet, I am just very motivational, a little bit nasty, and then Crystal Clear, that's my Facebook page. I'm
Yeah.
just there for everybody because my older relatives are on there. They don't
Yeah.
want to know about anal beads and giving head, so I don't mix the two.
So
I try not
okay,
to.
so how'd you get comfortable? Like what how did you wake up one morning and be like, I'm gonna talk about this? I mean, what inspired you to do that?
Well, it wasn't one morning. Hey, one second, y'all. Hey, come over here, sit down. I have a special guest over here that's being. Let's see, just let him see what I'm doing. Say good morning. Say good morning.
Uh
Okay.
Pie.
Hi.
He driving me nuts this morning. He will not sit down because he knows that I'm not paying attention to him. Okay. So I've always talked about it, and since you want to tell, I've watched porn with John before.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
I remember
So
that.
I,
Yeah.
so I've always been out there. So one day I was just writing poetry, and because I'm naturally humorous, I um I added humor and naughtiness into the poetry so that it'd be easier to take. And so most of the time that is the recipe for my poetry. It's naughty, but it's also humorous and it's sassy. So it all just works together.
So so do you have anything you want to do you want anything you can share? You want to share on here?
I can share one of my not too bad pieces, but you'll get the point.
Okay.
All right, so this piece is called Sweet Potato Pie. Stop, be still. I give him the mama look. That's so crazy how I guess the mama dog look is just like the mama human look, but he already know I'm that bitch. So he already know. So this one was called Sweet Potato Pie.
Hmm.
I don't understand why you haven't come by. Boy, you know that I'm toting that sweet potato pie. You know that you slice it again and again, and every time that you think of it, you begin to grin. You remember the taste, you remember the smell, you remember how it satisfied your appetite so well. You like the color, you like the size. Remember how you were astonished and a bit surprised? You need to come dine on this deep dish crust. Indulge in it, devour it. Hell, scream if you must. This sweet potato pie has a satisfaction guarantee. It's been in my family for years. It's an old recipe. Legend has it that the slave masters couldn't resist, and so their wives gave us our freedom because of it. It has started wars, it has ended lives, it has been the cause of much demise. It has broken hearts and families and caused way much trouble in cavities. I haven't even said this in a while. Let me go back. I'm gonna start it over because I am distracted. Give me 1 second. Let me just put the
Okay.
dog in the kennel.
Sure.
Ja, get in the kennel. Ja, ja,
Y'all
go in the
welcome
kennel.
again to Monday Mornings with Lila and John. We got special guest Crystal
Kennel.
Clear. I hope y'all are having a wonderful weekend. We wanted to start off your week with something powerful and interesting and entertaining and mind blowing. And so, welcome to Crystal Clear.
Okay, so I'm here and he's in the kennel. He can't bump me, so I'm ready. Sweet potato pie. I don't understand why you haven't come by. Well, you know that I'm talking about sweet potato pie. You know that you sliced it again and again, and every time that you think of it, you begin to grin. You remember the taste, you remember the smell, you remember how it satisfied your appetite so well. You like the color, you like the size. Remember how you were astonished and a bit surprised? You need to come dine on this deep dish crust, indulge in it, devour it. Hell, scream if you must. This sweet potato pie has a satisfaction guarantee. It's been in my family for years. It's an old recipe. Legend has it that the slave masters couldn't resist, and so their wives gave us our freedom because of it. It has started wars, it has ended lives, it has been the cause of much demise. It has broken hearts and families and caused way much more than cavities. Because you see, this TNA has deep DNA. So let's just stop the Q&A. This sweet potato pie is beckoning your appetite. It's delicious. It's gratifying. Go and have your piece tonight.
Woo! Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Woo! And that's kind of one of those first poems I got from her. I was like, this girl. So, creativity. What inspires you?
Everything inspires me. It's just like when you're in church and you hear something, in the sermon, that inspires me. I could be watching a show, listening to music, and then just sometimes just talking to people. They'll say something, I'm like, ooh, yeah, and I'll run with that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm always amazed about that. And I've been able to see her perform when I was down in Beaumont. She had this special, so she always doing poetry, y'all, in the Houston area. So you need to check her out if you're in Texas. Check this girl out. She's bad. Do you have your book for sale yet?
Not yet. I don't know why I don't. I just write and keep pushing. But next month I am doing 3 shows in Houston. I'm shocked, but yeah, I'll be doing 3 shows.
Yeah, y'all in for a good time. She's gonna bring it to you. So let's move on to this other piece, Freaky Fridays.
Yes.
I remember, and we had this conversation how those of us melanin, and especially I guess African American, how we don't talk about certain things, and how you were going to you had brought a platform to talk about, you know, this woman, Crystal Clear, Trina, she talks about everything. And what inspired you to do that, and what's the goal if you're trying to do for that community?
Well, I think the most important thing is that my mother didn't really talk to me about sex. When it was time, she just gave it to me, bam, bam, and that was it. And I was like, it got to be more to this sex thing because everybody talking about it. We were in middle school, but I know it was wrong because when I did it, I was like, this can't be what everybody's gung ho about. So I got my information, from my classmates, and things like that. I know Pornhub was not around, so there was nothing that I really could see, sneak and watch, look in Playboy magazine, stuff like that. But I felt that it's important to be open, honest, and just talk about the good, the bad, um, the freaky side, the vanilla side, just all of it, the horrible side as well as the most gratifying things. I also want people to feel free that they could explore things that we have been traditionally told, are not for us.
Yeah.
Because and I'll just come out and say, I always believed that only white girls suck dick because that's what I was told until I sucked the dick and liked it.
So what is that though? What is that when people get stuck? So, what do you think that is? I mean, because how many people are not really gratified when you talk about sex? Me and Lila talked about that before, and I was like, and then the power of men wanting to try to control. I mean, you spoke about that whole piece about what is that, and how do you see them breaking that?
Yeah, and that's another thing. My poetry and my shows, although people may think that I'm just out there, I have a purpose, and my purpose is to empower women because for so long it has been that we were there to please men. But damn it, if I'm about to carry a baby for you for 9 months, I better get something out of this. I mean, if I am here with you, we both are participating, you're inside of me, let me enjoy it too. It's for both of us, not just for the male's pleasure. So I'm trying to encourage women to get pleasure out of having sex too, you know, because I do know women that still just do it to be doing it, not for the enjoyment of it. They do it because that's my husband, I have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow. That's deep. You have any questions, Lila?
I don't. I'm just here for the party.
Yeah.
Y'all are doing great. Just
It's,
keep
it's,
going.
it's definitely a party with Trina in her house. So you want to talk about? So I want to talk about one of the shows that you had where you had the guy who was not sex slave, or what was that thing where he had the chain? He had women there pay rolls, and he said some women
Oh
bar.
yeah, he's
What was that show called?
yeah, he's a rope. He's a rigger. So it was called rope bondage.
Okay, tell
Yeah.
people about it because they don't know what that is. So
Yes, let's talk about rope bondage.
Yeah, rope bondage was something that I shied away from because my people came here tied and roped up, and and I was like, I'm not getting off into nothing like that. But the older I got, and the more things that I researched and looked into, and kind of found out the other side of it, that it isn't all what we see on Pornhub and X-rated sites and movies. It isn't all suspended by the ceiling and suspended from the ceiling and doing all this wild stuff. Sit down, sir. It isn't all that. It's an art to it. It's an old Japanese art that Westerners took in and kind of raunched it up. But it is really an art to it, and it's really beautiful if you pay attention and look at the way that the ropes are tied and the different knots and things like that. So, and it can be therapeutic if you're really into tying very intricate knots.
And I thought it was very interesting when you broke that down that it was Japanese, and so I had no clue of that because I was the same way. I was like, rope. She had a rope around my neck. That's the only thing I could think about. And I was like, those lynchings. I'm not doing more ropes. But it's interesting, and it was really interesting to hear this African American male talk about his role in this and how he participates, and how it goes outside of his life, outside of his life, who we participate, who we won't participate with. Which it was, y'all. I'm telling you, if you get a chance, Freaky Fridays, check it out because the sister is bringing shit that you're not going to find or hear anyplace else for us. And it's not just, most people think, oh, it's just going to be slutty or not. We were present one time when I was in Houston that time. You were filming it in your room, remember? With your family was there, so we was there, and you had your husband take your daughter downstairs so we could listen to it. You were doing it. I mean, she's committed to it, and there's so much wisdom in it. See, a lot of times people think that you can have a conversation about being freaky, that it's not going to be any wisdom in it. And that's because I think people have this closed mind or this old way of thinking that won't allow them to be an allowance to receive more. I think that one of the things I find coming through is just like being in wonderment, I call it, of the possibilities of this conversation that has never been had on this level. Most people, and it's not like, it's never, one of the things that I appreciate about Trina is that she never allows somebody to beat somebody up, because usually she's interviewing is very gentle. And I mean, she's had interviews with people from overseas. One time you were somebody from England or something. I was just like, she's doing this damn thing and bringing knowledge to people if they want to choose it.
Yeah. And one thing that's important to me is that I talk to you, not at you, because sometimes when you're trying to receive, you can't receive things when someone is like this. But when someone is like this, and they're speaking to you, I want to interact with you. I want to hear your thoughts on it, your feelings on it, your experiences. And that's why I tell people when I promote it, you can either jump on the live with me and talk about it, or you can sit in the chat. And sometimes it's just easier to sit in the chat and talk back and forth to people and to me.
Right. So when is the next time they can catch you? Is it every Friday?
No, this set season is going to be every other Friday, because I really try to put a lot of work in what I wear. So I have to
wait. Let's go back to that. So can they go back and see any old shows?
Yes, I put them all on my page.
On Instagram, right? Y'all
Yes.
beware, because this comes some shit. I was like, damn, Trina, who let the dogs out?
And and you know what? It is in doing these shows and in talking that I free myself even more. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a Catholic school girl, and so there are some hangups, but I had to push those hangups to the side because I'm like, that was good back then when I was growing up, but now that I can think on my own, there's ways that I can incorporate um, my biblical teachings, and uh, there's a place for it. I'll just say it like that. There's a
Yeah,
place for it. But when I'm doing Freaking Friday, I am free. I can't put my nipples out, so I do put my pasties on.
yeah.
But other than that, it's on and popping. And wait till I start getting to the gym that they building around the corner. Oh, I don't know what might happen. I might start learning how to twerk.
I love you
Okay,
very much.
so yes. So talk about what you found in this liberation of being you, because you have a joyful energy. What is the inspiration for that, and where do you get that, and what do you how can this be contribution to other people?
Well, I was thinking about that because I knew that you were going to ask something similar. So I was thinking about what I would say.
Hmm.
I just want to say that I understand where we came from. You can whitewash things, you can put things in textbooks, but we
Hmm.
communicate. You know what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
communicate with one another. And people that are willing to learn about their history, they can find it because your energies attract you to like-minded people.
Right.
So being that we weren't allowed to be who we were back in the day,
Yeah.
our names were changed. We were stripped of our identities. It
Hmm.
is important to me, to not only authentically be myself or me, but for those of my ancestors that could not be themselves.
Yeah.
So I just don't rock the mic for me. I'm rocking it for my sisters, my brothers that could not do it, that would be beaten for saying anything remotely close to what I say, for dressing like I dress, um, for having the audacity to just be. And that is my whole thing. Um, I'm really trying to really answer your question. I am just I just feel that it's important to be me because nobody else can be me.
Right.
Nobody else has had my experiences. Nobody else has made it through the things that I've made it through and still standing. And what is the purpose of being me? What is the purpose of being down all day? It serves no purpose. If I get up and I'm not feeling good, I'm a damn sure look good. Because when I look good, it switches my personality for me. I do have moments of sadness and depression, but I talk my way out of it. I think my way out of it. I am very much a gratitude person, and that has saved me a lot when I start being thankful for the things that I have made it through, for the things that I have. That instantly puts me in a better mood.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Inviting people to being them. I always talk about that, the importance of uh, being you, because a lot of times people don't realize that they try to be somebody else. Uh, I I realize this, like, as I've gotten more mature, um, I would never give up being me for anything in the world. As weird as
Mm-hmm.
the fuck as I am weird, and I embrace all of that. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
be. I can never see myself going back. When I go back and look at pictures, I can never see myself going back to being uh, that person again. I'm not willing to give that up. I'm not willing to give up what I have, because there is there is a blessing in being you. And you can always, when I'm around people who are not being them, you can always tell they're
Yes.
not, they're off kill. They're like, and you see it show up in relationships. Like, it's like, it pains me when I walk up to somebody and I see them not being themselves in the relationship. And it's because it's like, but I understand it's a choice too. I used to think people did things to people, People try to do things. People will do shit to you if you're an allowance for them to do it. I mean, and that's what I always appreciate about you, Trina. You're not going to take shit. I don't care if you're male, female. You're not going to take shit. It's like, I'm going to be me. If you can't deal with me, then fuck you. You know, and we have talked about this about even with family. A lot of people that look like us, we will use family as the excuse not to be happy to be us. And I remember, I would say that, and it's kind of ironic, when you move away from something, you don't have the pressures too of having to fit in. You know, my family was terrific, but I got to be more of me because I'm 2,000 miles away from where I grew up.
Yeah.
Something in that, because you don't have to worry about that pressure, or like your mom was a dear friend of mine. The pressure of her growing up, I remember me and her having dialogues about trying to put that on your kids. And what I learned from her is that I wasn't going to do that with my kids, because I didn't want them to have the pressure of being John Ashford. Like, we stopped going to church when they were little. It wasn't that I wasn't spiritual, but that wasn't working for them. And it wasn't working for me trying to force them. And not I have people probably, oh, you don't believe in God. And I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, when you be you, you start to create your own way. A lot of times people stay stuck and not being them because they follow suit of what is done or what has to be done. What happens when that goes away? What now can you create?
Yeah.
Joy and ease and being you, man. And what love can you have for your body that you don't have? You know, a lot of people, I'm very empathic, so I can sense people's bodies and their energies. And when I pass somebody, sometimes it's the point, like sometimes when you said about being depressed, I realized a while back, and I got this once I got into this organization, I started reading this book, Being You Changed the World by Dr. Dane Heer, that I don't know if I was as depressed as much as being aware of other people's energies around me and making them mine.
Yeah.
I was like, because if you're an empath, you pick up, before you know, you're like, oh, this is my shit. No, it's not. It's somebody else's. And I learned that it's not my responsibility to heal people who don't want to be healed. It's their choice. I could be a facilitator of that, but I can't do that for people. And I want to say, Crystal Clear, Trina, you always been that for me. It's that person that I was like, you know, I could always reach out. It's like, even, and people see like, well, who do you go to talk to? Well, y'all see two people that I talk to a lot. So we coming to the end of our show. Do you want to talk about Tongue Out Thursdays, or is that something that's just the thing you do on?
It's something that I just encourage people to be themselves and to have a good time. And I am always sassy. So Tongue Out Thursday came out about that. And why? Do you want me to show them my Tongue Out Thursday?
Yeah, you can. I mean, that's real. It's your
so every Thursday I take a picture. I go and pull pictures from other places, and I don't mind showing my tongue, or I do a mini video. So here's my tongue. So
now, the first time I saw that, I was like, Trina must have been in a band called Kiss, because they used to do that shit. I was like, damn.
You know what's crazy? Like you said, you're always learning something. So I go to other tongue sites where I see people putting their tongue out, and I try and learn new things, because, you know, bring more content to my show, bring more excitement to the bedroom.
Yes. Well, y'all, we've gone over a little bit, but I want to thank you, Trina, for coming on. This is truly one of my inspirational people to go to, and I'm very blessed. Total gratitude for having you in my world. And will you come back with one more poetry later?
Yeah, I should. I will.
Okay, definitely. Well, y'all, you know where to find us every Monday mornings. Commute on the West Side. You guys probably in the office already on the rest of the country, around the planet. Thank you for joining us. One special thing I always say to people, please be kind to you first and allow that to flow out to others. I love you guys. Until next week, me and Lila. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.